Right.
Posting.
Posting.
Yes, sir. We are.
Good to go.
Oh my God! What did I just do? What did I just? Okay.
All right, live on Facebook's up. Yeah. YouTube and Twitch should be following shortly. Make sure we're good. Yep, live there. Cool. We're good.
Tagging. I'm tagging at henchman just to let him know we are live once again without him.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, the Oversell podcast is back on YouTube. I'm here with the captain. We're talking all things wrestling. It's been we haven't been on in a couple weeks since Payback and everything like that. There hasn't really been much going on. Like it's been kind of a dead couple of weeks leading into, I guess, the India show at the beginning of November is the next big thing. And, that's all we have. And we really have nothing going on except for Judgment Day is now taking over the entire WWE and they're trying to recruit the entire bloodline. But before we get into the big elephant in the room, just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on what's been going on product wise. We've got a lot of rumors about Jade Cargill possibly coming over to the WWE or contracts up at AEW. She's not re-signing. Possibly them reaching out to CM Punk, which I don't see happening because I don't think Hunter ever is going to want him back in the business again. And like where the WWE has been sitting recently with a lot of their superstars that are just kind of going nowhere.
Yeah, so I was loaded. It's good to be back with you first and foremost.
Absolutely.
My mind scrambled because One Shot still isn't here. But when he goes to watch this back, which he probably won't, I'm just going to let you know that we miss you.
We do miss you.
One day you will join us back again. Maybe when a year goes by and your year anniversary of your new relationship is here and you're allowed to come back on the podcast, it'd be great. But okay, I digress. So first and foremost, Punk's not coming back. Nick Khan essentially said, I wish him the best in his career.
Yeah.
He's done some great work. Thank God. I don't need CM Punk. He was terrible when he was here. He was awful in AEW, and he'd be even worse coming back to WWE. So that guy can kick rocks. That's number one. Jade, listen, anytime you add depth to the women's division, it's critical.
Is it depth though?
Bro, of course it is. What do we have now?
Well, my thing is this. As dominating as Jade Cargill, the look to her obviously is impressive, right? And looks-wise, she looks like she stacks up next to Rhea really well, Charlotte really well. In-ring ability, she's much larger than all of these other chicks. But her character and her mic work and her promos and everything else about her has been utter trash on AEW.
Yeah, I mean, does it matter though? The reason why I'm saying that is because the reason why for me is because the women's division is so desperate they brought back Nia Jax.
Yeah, okay? Which also a terrible idea.
So I'm just saying that in the women's division, you can get away with mediocre to bad mic work, and you're still going to have that market because you're going to have a lot of women and girls who really love to watch it. And there's very few women who dominate a mic, right? So on the men's side, we expect them to be a lot more polished. On the women's side, it's like you're just getting better in-ring performances without the mic work, and you're like, wow, that was really awesome. Like we didn't expect to see that. That was pretty cool. Those matches that Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and Charlotte, that they all put on, we had never seen that before. So I really cared less about what they said on the mic and more about the fact that we got really cool wrestling from women, which we hadn't gotten for decades, so we can get away with it. It'll polish off. Dave, what's going on, brother? Dave said Punk has worked for more companies than Roman has title defenses. Fact, bro. It's true.
Very
Dave.
true.
It's true. It's true. But if you're saying that with a negative connotation against the tribal chief, please respect. Thank you. That's number one. So as it pertains to both of them, that's my feelings.
When it comes to the women's division, my biggest problem that we have going on with them right now is they have, if you look at NXT, right, they have a stacked women's division in NXT. And they could bring these girls up, but they're not giving them a chance on the main roster. So you brought up Zoe Stark, you brought up Alba Fire and the other chick. And Zoe Stark became Trish Stratus's, henchman, and the other two tag teams of women that we have are basically lost in the shuffle because the women's tag belt is the most relevant belt in all of wrestling.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to say the reason why is because the belts are cursed. Everyone that's won them has had an injured tag team partner.
It's wild.
I have to say that, we're not getting a true tag team, number one. And
they brought up two true tag teams, though.
Yeah, but only two.
Only two.
Yeah, remember how you and I used to feel that way about how they kept both tag teams unified on a brand with no tag teams, right?
Yeah.
So you essentially have tag team titles with two tag teams. It's just as bad. So you're better off vacating tag team titles, building up multiple teams, and then having a tournament and crowning a new tag team champions that can then start a reign, right?
Yeah.
But they're literally piecing together teams as they go. So
they're not giving anything time to marinate and get together and really make a cohesive tag team. You're not seeing tag teams, you're seeing two wrestlers put together.
Correct.
Right? Correct. We're not seeing the Usos. We're not seeing the New Day. We're not seeing, even going back further, the Hardy Boys or the Dudley Boys. You're just getting two random wrestlers thrown together, a la Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. You know what I mean? It's just not working. So I don't know if Jade can bring some sort of depth into the division. Maybe I think it's at least one more opponent for Rhea, which is good.
Yeah. Dave said I like AEW's women's factions. You know what the difference is? And I think Zuplex and I talk about this a lot. So AEW tries to be your traditional wrestling organization, and they build up the wrestling aspect of that character much better than WWE does. WWE has leaned predominantly on storytelling for a long time. So unless those wrestlers, unless the women wrestlers can tell you a story as to why they're fighting, and that was the reason why the first Trish and Becky Lynch fight worked, right?
Yeah.
You have the man, quote unquote, and then you have the greatest woman wrestler entertainer of our generation, right? Because you're not going to say the great Moolah. You're not going to do all that. You have Trish Stratus, who really wrestled, had titles. So it made
first woman to main event Monday Night Raw. Her and Lita, she's got accolades. She's got the
Accolades,
track
yes.
record.
As accolades, yeah. So AEW is going to have more grit to it. You're going to see more wrestling. You're going to see more of that produced.
Yeah.
So what you're saying makes sense, for sure.
Yeah, because what he's saying, like AEW's women's matches are far above and beyond what WWE is doing with their actual matches. But there's no characters behind any of these women.
It depends. I don't think there's a better female wrestler in the world than Charlotte Flair. So the problem
I'm saying as a whole, like
yeah,
like watching Ty Conti and the Bunny in a ladder match on a random ass Dynamite is a better match than what we're getting on SmackDown.
No doubt about it. It's
the marquee names. Your Charlotte, obviously. Your Becky. Your Bianca. They're obviously better. You know what I'm saying? But overall, like the mid card females in AEW are putting on way, way, way better matches than like the mid card WWE girls.
No, listen. I would never even argue it. And by the way, even like the marquee matches, and you saw the new PWI 500. You saw?
I haven't gone all the way through it, but I've seen highlights of it. Yeah,
but it still goes to show you that the storytelling still dominates no matter what, because the top three, it's Roman Reigns, number 2 is Seth Rollins, number 3 is Moxley, and number 4 is Gunther. So the fact of the matter is first of all 3 of the Shield members are still 1, 2, and 3, no matter what. And number 2, a lot of these guys are storytellers now, you know, and like Moxley's matches are not wrestling matches, bro. They're fucking.
He's got straight death matches. He's been in AEW.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They're uncomfortable brawls. Like it's crazy. I guess because I'm older now, like I don't want to see somebody just covered in blood all the time. And you're like, oh yeah, bro. Like this guy. He's got a wife and kid. You're like, Jesus, dude. Like,
you know what it is? It's like it's if they just didn't do it every week. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was like a once a year or like a once like if it was like at Extreme Rules and they went that far with it at Extreme Rules, I get excited for Extreme Rules.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they didn't do it the rest of the year. And they didn't do anything even close to that the rest of the year. You'd be excited for it. But because Mox every week is gigging himself on national television, like it's just like, oh, dude, again, like, bro, like you got to stop this, man. What are you thinking?
It's not for me, but
yeah,
it is what it is, bro. But
no, I hear you. We got some interesting news with the Triple H stuff. We were talking about it. That. They broke last month that he was losing his board of directors seat. Now they just announced that he is staying on as CCO.
Huge.
Which is huge news.
Huge.
And he's going to be reporting directly to Nick Khan.
Huge.
Which means Vince, thankfully, probably has very little to do with creative, which is a very good thing. I
mean, bro, come on. First of all, you sold it for what do you end up selling it for? $15 billion, or what was the final number?
16.5.
Okay,
something crazy like that.
Do yourself a favor, dude. You geriatric prick. Okay, count your billions.
Just walk off in the sunset.
Hope to God you can get out of all of these sexual assault allegations without ruining what people remember you as, because that's already so damaged that it might even be irreparable. Okay. But if anyone's going to say, man, Vince really blah, blah, blah with some good undertone, it will be if you had disappeared.
Yeah.
And I feel bad saying this, dude, but if the shoe fits, you wear it, and I tend to be that guy. they're only going to talk good about him when the guy fucking dies. Like,
You're
it
not
just
wrong.
is what it is, man. Like, the fact of the matter is while you're alive, there's going to be a section of people, a sector of people who are going to say, I don't care what he did. There's still allegations open right now. He treated women wrestlers incorrectly, blah, blah, blah. So until people are not able to see him and know he's there counting his billions, which pisses them off even more, no one's going to want to give him credit. So do yourself the favor. You and your little dirty Sanchez mustache, okay?
So stupid, bro.
Take it and get the fuck out of town while you have your billions. That's how I feel. So,
Exactly.
And listen, bro, I am not the moral police. I'm not the character police. I don't pretend to be. Fact of the matter, because I don't even care about people's feelings. So I don't care. The fact is this, is there is people in this world that are paid to bring some sort of justice forward if there was something done wrong, and he will have to answer to that, not to me. So I really don't care. Like when people are like, aren't you bothered and watch? I'm like, no, I'm actually not bothered whatsoever, because his day will come when his day will comes. Like that's how I see it. It's just, what am I supposed to do? Like in every single thing, I love Sprite. You can't tell me everyone working in Coca-Cola is a good person.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, dude. There's going to be some dickheads that work there that probably do incorrect things, but I'm not going to stop drinking Sprite. I love Sprite. Now, if they tell me we're shutting the company down because someone did this, that, and the third, then I guess I'm not drinking Sprite. But like it just doesn't make any sense to me. But Vince has got to go. Vince has got to go. Triple H, it's great news for all of us. And we saw a little bit of it here in this past Friday Night SmackDown show, this new merger taking place, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're going to get to now. This week, in the shock of all shocks.
Lay it on me.
The shock of all shocks. The Rock showed up on SmackDown. And listen, was it exciting because we didn't know it was going to happen? Yes. Is it only happening because all of Hollywood's on strike, the same reason that Cena's there? Yes. Should it have happened a year ago so that we could have integrated this into the Bloodline storyline? Yes.
I'm fuming. Bro.
Go ahead, man. Don't blow the whole load yet. We got some show to go.
Honestly, I said in our chat, I was stunned.
Yeah.
At 37, watching wrestling for as long as I have, very rarely am I stunned. Okay? I feel like we, at some point in time, predict the entire storylines or whatever's going to happen because we've seen it so many times over. I was stunned. The music hit. First of all, I love seeing Pat McAfee.
Yeah, of course.
I love me some Austin Theory. So I was like, oh, cool. This is a treat. I get these two guys jawing back at each other. Great. Then The Rock's music hits. And a roller coaster of emotions takes over. Roller coaster. And I'm messaging you guys. And I'm like, wow. Rock?
For context, people, 5 hours previous to this, he said, I don't give a fuck about The Rock. I hope I never see him again.
That it's true. and let me tell you now, after seeing him in the ring, Rock, I want you to crawl back into whatever fucking Hollywood hole you crawled out of. I don't want to see him in the ring. I actually don't give a fuck about him. Even more, to see him in the ring, something triggered me. And I'm like, I hate you. I actually don't like The Rock at all. I've actually taken a stance now where Rock, you can fucking kick rocks with Vince McMahon. Like, you're the same dude. I don't even like him at all. You're so fucking fake. You're crawling back into a fucking ring because now you can't make any really bad Hollywood movies.
Exactly.
That also pissed me the fuck off. I waited how long to see some of your dumb ass movies? How long did I wait, Rock? How long did I wait? Rocky, how long did I fucking wait for your movies? And they suck balls. And you know what, dude? I can tell you right now, you suck in the ring also. And I'm tired of seeing that stupid spine buster. I'm tired of seeing his bald ass face and head. And his stupid, all of a sudden he gets a rise because he says, oh, you're a little bitch. No, you're a little bitch. How about that? Fucking Rock. You ain't no Rock. You're a crock. Crock of shit. I'm tired of this guy. The Rock is a 0 in my book. 0. And I said it 5 hours earlier. I don't give a fuck about The Rock if I ever see him. And The Rock, I'll tell you this right now. See this right here? You'll fucking never be the tribal chief. You wish you were the tribal chief. You'll never be it. You were never it. You're the people's chump. And you sold out. You sold out on all of us. And when we needed you the most, you were out stepping on your own dick in Hollywood, making poor ass movies that should have costed 10 cents. And I paid 50 fucking bucks to go see them. And now you want to crawl back in a ring. Nope. I'm not okay with it, dude. Because you know what, Black Adam? You fucking blow. How about that? Okay? Black Adam? Yep. Best part about that movie is when it cut off. That was the best part. The end. See ya. Everything else went downhill. You're spiraling now. Everything. Warner Brothers just cut ties with you. Just today said no more relationship with The Rock. I wonder why. Wonder why, Rock. Maybe hang out with Oprah Winfrey some more. Do some more fundraising. Bitch. I'm done with this guy. Fuck him. And you know what, dude? I don't even want this storyline no more. I don't want it anymore. If The Rock faced off Roman Reigns, the head of the fucking table, okay. Only head you are, bro, is a dickhead. How about that? I'm done with him. Fuck The Rock.
Let's get into the Roman aspect of all this, because I've got something, and I agree with you a lot on maybe not with as much vitriol and hatred, but I will say that, you know, Cena came back a couple weeks ago. They announced that he was coming back. They announced that he was going to be back for X amount of weeks. They signed a contract for X amount of weeks. Obviously, we all know the Hollywood strike is in effect. These guys got nothing to do, so they might as well come back, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Batista shows up next week. So now, you know, there's gaps in their schedule and filming and blah, 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 blah. So what's The Rock to do? He just shows back up, right? He's The Rock. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. The problem is that when Hunter was calling him for months, like, to finish this bloodline story, he wouldn't even show up. And now, because he has nothing to do, all of a sudden he's back. Now, we don't know if it's going to lead into the bloodline storyline yet. That's all kind of up in the air, because he really just showed up, beat the crap out of Austin Theory, said what's up to John Cena, and that was basically all of his interaction on SmackDown. There really wasn't much more than that.
That didn't make you even more mad? We've been waiting for him for 4 years. It didn't make you even more mad that after 4 years, and countless storylines that he has blown like a porn star, okay? The guy decides he's going to come back because he's smoking weed with Pat McAfee in Colorado to do a promo with Austin Theory. So you wasted 4 years. 4 more years off my life.
But Roman wasn't going to be there anyway. Because Roman's not going to be on TV for a while.
But it doesn't matter, though. Any one of these 4 years, he could have come back.
Oh, no, absolutely. I agree with that.
So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying.
This is why he's such fake news, bro.
No, and that's why I'm agreeing with you on it.
So, bro, it's OD to me. Rock, we don't need you. We don't need you. You wanna lead? You wanna orchestrate the cute little chants, bro? Cool, man. That's really cute. You come back at 51 years old. You lead the chants. You know, you are an asshole. Da da da. Ba ba ba.
We had to bleep out because it was on Fox, so it made it completely worthless.
Yeah. And by the way,
I didn't even watch the segment.
It was awful. You're awful. Your movies are awful. There's nothing I like about the guy anymore. Dude, honestly, I'm being serious. There's nothing I like about The Rock anymore. Zero. Go back to Hollywood. Whatever that means, go back there. Crawl back there. Crawl. I don't give a fuck. I hate him.
So, listen, we've talked long about the bloodline storyline that we're going, where we're headed with it. At the beginning of it, we all agreed, like, the only way this ends is The Rock versus Roman Reigns. But it's kind of come to a point now that the bloodline civil war happened, and Jimmy and Jay are on separate brands. They're both getting recruited by the Judgment Day because for whatever reason, Judgment Day is now running everything at WWE. Roman hasn't been on TV in 3 weeks. He's not defending his belt until November.
He shouldn't defend it ever.
At Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia.
It's nobody worthy.
Right? And obviously they're using that as the push to Hogan, like, because they're going to basically make him not defend his belt and not be around for the next year.
Can I, now that you're like through and through recognizing this, can I get a little bit of credit? No. I was giving you, I'm giving you the credit because you called it, but the problem is that I think this hurts his legacy. I really do, because I don't give a fuck if he beats Hogan's record if he doesn't defend the title for a year. It doesn't matter to me. I understand
you know why his whole beating Hogan's record means absolutely nothing. I don't care that he's the longest reigning champion anymore. You know why? Because I haven't seen him defend it in fucking forever.
Okay, I get it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying is right. It's not wrong. I get why you're frustrated. I totally do. Okay. But this is, I feel like you're the same guy that loved, and we weren't doing the show, so you can say you weren't, blah, blah, blah. But I know you're a big believer in Brock Lesnar. Okay. Every single person I talk to, and I'm not saying you, because we haven't talked about this, but every single person I've talked to said that Brock Lesnar was one of the most dominant champions ever. Did you ever look at the time that he had his longest run, how many title defenses he had? And Brock Lesnar never showed up on Raw. He showed up once every 3 months, and everyone thought he was. And the reason why is because every time he showed up, it was a main event, big match, and you were like, oh shit, Brock's back. So as much as we want to kill Roman, and I get what you're saying, and there's, first of all,
I hated Brock's run also for that same reason, because he was never around. Like,
but it taught me a lot, though. It taught me a lot.
I hate it so much, man. Like,
I'm telling you, it taught me a lot.
Seth is a better champion.
But Seth's a different champion, bro. Every champion is different.
It's better. There's something interesting about it.
It's not that he's better, dude. It's that he's so different. It's like Gunther. Gunther might be the best of all three of them, but he's different. So the fact of the matter is each guy, right? We're watching Gunther maybe put on the greatest display of title defenses we're ever going to see.
That's probably true.
His match with Chad Gable is a 5 out of 5.
Easy. Easy 5-star match.
Like legit, it's going to go down as one of the greatest title defense matches, in my opinion, in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And this is and his triple threat match with Sheamus and McIntyre, one of the greatest title defenses ever.
His singles match with Sheamus at Clash of the Castle.
The guy and even the one individually with McIntyre.
Yeah.
The guy just puts on matches, and at the end of it, you're like, you genuinely look and you're like, no one's beating this guy straight up. Like it's not going to happen straight up, right? Now we say something different for Roman, where we feel like most guys have an edge at this point, and he's not going to win a match straight up, right? We're sort of thinking a little.
Well, he's never won a match straight up.
But I'm telling you, there's for Roman, when he pops up, everything is sold out. The numbers, the ratings, everything goes through the roof because
I'm not saying he's not a big star,
but it's, dude.
I'm talking about the legacy that he's going to be leaving behind. Because for me, it's tainted.
Nah,
it's tainted. It is. Like, think about it this way: he has not defended that championship since SummerSlam. So he's going to go from SummerSlam to November 4th in Saudi Arabia, which allegedly he's going to be defending. We don't even know if that's going to happen or not, right? That's a 4-month span with him barely being here.
Name me one match, and I will Google it, during Hulk Hogan's 1,400-day reign as champion.
I don't care about Hulk Hogan's 1,400-day champion. You know why? Because I don't care that here's the other thing. I don't give a fuck about Hogan's record either.
Okay.
You know why? Because Hogan's record was made in 1982 when there was 4 wrestlers. It's why no one cares. It's why no one cares about Bruno's record. Because Bruno Sammartino's record was made at a time. No, like they're not going after Bruno's record. Right?
Why are they going after Hogan's versus why are they going after Bruno?
Yeah, because they want to go after Hogan's because of Hogan's missteps in real life, right? Yeah, and they want to erase Hogan from the fucking echelon, which they're never going to be able to do anyway because Hogan is still always going to be Hogan.
I'm telling you, this company's shifting over. Bruno Sammartino, not only obviously, was he who he was in the wrestling world, right?
Yeah, of course. You got to give respect is due, but
he was also revered as a good person. So the fact of the matter is, even if they wanted to, they wouldn't go after him because you need to have something with history in it to explain the business. Bruno Sammartino is your history. Yeah. Roman Reigns is now. So that's how you bridge the gap when our kids look later on down the road. And I try and explain to Scarlett, no, like, honey, because she watches wrestling with me, and she'll never understand the names because every time I say Bruno, she thinks I'm talking about the song. We don't talk about Bruno. Yeah. But like, if, and I'll explain to her, like, no, honey, this was the original, right? And Roman, the number 2, is the now. And he's someone we grew up with, honey. And she'll say, oh, wow. And I can't explain to her the in between, the Hogan. Oh, by the way, honey, yeah, Hulk Hogan was number 2. We were all Hulkamaniacs until we found out he hated black people. Like, bro, it doesn't work. Like, I'm just saying, it doesn't work. So the fact is,
I get that.
So there has to be, and even though we may not like it or feel uncomfortable about it with his reign and how they're doing it, it's the only way you can do it because you made a point. That is exactly why they're not doing it. You made a point months ago.
He doesn't even become number 2. He becomes number 3.
No, you're not talking about Bob Backlund, are you?
Yeah, Bob Backlund's number 2.
Yeah.
2,135 days.
Yeah. I mean, does anybody talk about Bob Backlund and the chicken wings?
This is my point. This is why this whole thing means nothing. Is because no one even cares about Bob Backlund in this whole conversation, and he's number 2.
Because no one because it's Hulk Hogan bridges the gap. He wrestled for 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did back.
So we have to have a new guy who erases that, and we have to have somebody who is history and new.
Backlund wrestled almost as long as Hogan did.
Backlund.
He was wrestling in the 90s.
I know that's a stretch, though. He used to come in the ring and he spoke like
I didn't say he was.
patient.
Yeah, like I didn't say he was great, but he was wrestling.
I mean, the guy literally rolled in the ring and went, and then put somebody in a chicken wing and ran. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, dude, you may not like it, but I get the reason why, and I'm totally fine with them doing it. But here's the thing. I'm gonna say this last part, and I'm done. Because I hate The Rock, and that's what I'm gonna say about him. The Rock. What I actually think should happen is, it's gonna sound crazy, but I think that everyone still views The Rock as the real head of the table and the GOAT, right? That's what I think. I think that The Rock should beat Roman, and then I think Cody Rhodes should beat The Rock. And then he should beat the real head of the table.
Yeah.
And then lead the company moving forward. And you know me. I'm not a big Cody guy. I'm not a Cody guy. It's as clear as day that people love this guy. Okay? You can't give it to LA Knight. He's too old.
You can't deny the
I'm just,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not,
whether you like him or not. I'm just saying you can't deny that he's over. He's over.
I'm not, dude. I watch it. I'm not delusional. Okay, like I see it.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is LA Knight's too old. I think Seth Rollins is too broken. I think that AJ Styles is too old, and I think that either Gunther. Gunther or Cody Rhodes are the guys who are really like unless you have a Braun Breaker come in, but because he's really dominant in NXT and still dominant in NXT, I think that you don't have many options. And exactly what I was going to say before, if Roman had defended his title in nonsensical title defenses against guys that, whatever, maybe they're capable of fighting him, you had said something that was very smart at one point. He's running out of opponents, and also we're seeing the same ones over and over again. WWE, as clear as day, thinks the same way you do.
Yeah.
We're not going to keep seeing the same shit. We're not going to keep putting them up against people who doesn't make any sense, because where's this story going? So the only way to do this, and it may piss everybody off, is to keep him off screen, build other people up, which, by the way, I think they're doing really well. And because LA Knight is now I want to say megastar, but he's really a megastar.
He's going to be he's going to be a megastar. He's not there yet,
Listen, Gunther's championship is now just as prestigious as the World Heavyweight Championship. You build him up. You have Seth Rollins at the top of his game. You have LA Knight, big time. Jey Uso is now got a lot of, heat on him, got a lot of love on him.
Look, you may not agree with it, but they found a way to make Shinsuke
is looking.
Found a way to at least use him without having to worry about the Japanese aspect and everything.
Yeah, they're really building up. They're building guys up. And it's going to get to that point where you're like, there's 5 or 6 guys here, and they're starting to maneuver things around. And I'm okay with that. The fact is I don't need to see Roman. You want to know why I don't need to see Roman? Because when Roman's back on, and there's nobody I want more of than Roman Reigns, he's going to have 30 to 40 minutes of the 2-hour show on SmackDown. And that's 30 or 40 minutes that we're not going to get a 5-star Gable Gunther match. And there's no way you can tell me you would have been happy if Roman came after that match and stole the night. Bullshit. Because that would
no, absolutely not.
But it would have happened if Roman was on TV. They would have made Roman the main event that night,
Agreed.
and Gunther and Gable needed.
Yeah, but you
event.
you can have both. You can have the week where Roman and or Gunther and Gable bring the house down and have that match, and then the next week Roman shows up. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be on every week, but taking a 4-month fucking gap, that's a big gap, dude. Like,
yeah,
it's a big gap. Like, it's not unnoticeable, is what I'm saying. Like,
no, I hear you.
He doesn't show up every week. I'm fine with that. Like, but he's got to show up at some point. They got to give us something going with this title. Otherwise, the length of the reign becomes hollow.
I'm just fine with, like, in my mind, I'm saying this to myself. How many titles do I need to see defended week in, week out? I have great champions, and the reason why it was so critical for Roman to be there was because you had bullshit guys holding bullshit titles. And now, whenever Gunther has a match, you're like, let's fucking go. Like,
yeah,
when Seth Rollins is there, you're like, let's fucking go. The tag team titles, let's fucking go. And by the way, even the United States, which is the mid card,
it's kind of a dead title right now.
It's because they gave it to Rey Mysterio. But I have to say, the fact is if you have an Escobar and a Mysterio and an Austin Theory and a Grayson Waller and a couple of these guys there that may not be able to take you to that next level fighting for a title, they're going to give you good matches, bro. When's the last time Ray gave you a bad match?
No, he never does. But that's but he's got to be. It's like, in my eyes, this is where Ray, as great as Ray is, he shouldn't be the U.S. title holder right now. The U.S. title, in my opinion, that's the one that gets defended every week.
Yeah.
Right, and he's just too old to do that. So it should go to a younger guy, a guy that's going to like set the bar a little bit. A guy like you want Theory to have it but you want Theory to be actually defending it every week. You don't want him just sitting around like dodging people like he was. That's why his run didn't really make any sense to me.
How often? So you say United States title you want every week, right? Okay.
Yeah. Well, traditionally that's the title that, when John Cena had it, he did the open challenge every week. When what's his face had it before him?
I don't know who came directly before him.
Yeah, but it's always the title that gets defended on TV the most. It doesn't have to be every week, but it gets defended on TV the most.
Okay, so if the United States title is defended every week, how often should the IC title be defended?
It's a higher belt, in my opinion. It's a higher belt.
I'm okay with it. I'm asking. Yeah.
I mean, listen, maybe not every pay-per-view, but at least the big, the majority of them, it should probably be defended on.
So let's say there's 12 pay-per-views. Give me a number.
9.
Okay. Then
because you get pay-per-views that you don't need the IC title for, right? Like Royal Rumble doesn't need to be defended on, right? Because it's about the Rumble. Like Money in the Bank, it doesn't need to be defended on because it's about Money in the Bank, right?
Okay.
You get those pay-per-views that, like, you don't even need Roman at those pay-per-views. Like Survivor Series, you don't need a title defense.
But I'm just saying, so then how often should the World Heavyweight title be defended?
More often than this.
So
listen, if you got 12 pay-per-views, probably 10.
So Seth Rollins should defend his title more than the Intercontinental. Yeah,
I'd say so.
Okay. So
should Roman.
So you think a more prestigious belt should defend more, but a less prestigious in the IC title should be defended less, but you think a lesser than that should be defended every week?
No. It's not about the level of the title. It's about like drawing the pay-per-view, right? You want your top dogs to be drawing the pay-per-view. So you want them I think the US title should be defended on TV. but you want your top dogs at the pay-per-view. You can give me that look all you want. Roman's not going to be at the next 3 pay-per-views.
I think he's backtracking, folks. But go ahead.
I'm not backtracking. I'm not backtracking at all. There's a difference between the level of titles. Okay.
But you just said there isn't a different level of titles.
What do you mean? No,
you're going back and see, I was trying to walk you into that, and I knew because you're a very smart guy. So I knew you saw me walking you into it. So you were trying to rebuke it as you're walking into it. I can see the gears working, right?
No, because you're trying to trap me in a nonsensical thing. I never said that the lesser titles should be defended more. You're saying I said that, which I didn't. No, I said the U.S. title. The very specifically, the U.S. title should be defended every week.
And then your next words were the Intercontinental's more prestigious title.
Yes. But I'm not saying it should be defended every week.
No, but because it's a more prestigious title, it shouldn't be defended because it's more prestigious.
Okay. No one's talking about defending the heavýweight championship every week. I'm saying it should be defended at pay-per-views.
But there should be tiers. You brought up
the tiers. I'm not bringing up tiers.
You made tiers.
You made the tiers.
You're shedding a couple tears right now. You're shedding a couple tears right now. You're shedding a couple tears right now.
This is where you use your toughness Jewish lawyer tricks on me, and they don't work.
Absolutely.
They don't work. They don't work. Because you're trying to. Would you say that
I walked you right into that shit.
You tried to, but you didn't.
No,
you tried to, but you didn't.
You think you're so
you tried
clever,
to, but you didn't.
We all caught you.
You tried to, but you didn't. It's okay.
You're as fake as The Rock.
You can say it L too, buddy.
You're as fake as The Rock.
Yeah, all right.
You're as fake as the motherfucking Rock. I want everyone here, when you're watching this, you heard it here. This is why.
Here we go with the fake news, people. He's going to say that I said something that I didn't say on a recorded podcast.
Guys,
and I'm going to have to go back.
Guys.
I'm going to have to pull exactly what I said and then show him that he was wrong.
First of all,
Butters, your opinion doesn't count.
First of all, that's not nice. Every opinion counts to some degree. That's not nice.
When it's Butters.
And I was going to even say this, but he walked himself into this again. You see how he hates people, okay? Hates people. He says crazy shit.
John, you can come out and say that the sky is green and Butters will be like, you're right, John. Everything you say is right.
Well, if you look in the sky and that day it's green, then it's green. Most of the time it's blue. But what if that day it's green and I say the sky is green? Then the sky is green. I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Listen.
What I'm telling you is this. You said it. I didn't. I didn't even know. I just asked you.
You said it. I didn't.
I asked you a question. How often should the U.S. title be defended? You said weekly, no matter what. On TV, not on TV, whatever. I said, okay, Intercontinental Championship. How often should it be? You said it's a more prestigious title. So like
no. Pay-per-view. You asked me, would you consider it a more prestigious title? And I said yes.
Oh, my God. So it's a more prestigious title.
It is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you. So we got to the same fucking answer. Okay,
but you're saying I said something that I didn't.
You did.
No. You asked me a question.
Hold on a second. So if a hot chick walks by and I'm with my wife, okay,
yeah.
And she looks at me and she goes, you think that chick's hot? And I say, yes. She goes, you just said that chick's hot. No, I didn't say she was hot. But yes, I did say she was hot. She asked me and I said yes.
No, now let me ask you which one's worse. If a hot chick just walks by, you just look at her and go, damn, that chick's hot. Don't you think your wife's going to be more mad at you?
Yeah, well, thankfully enough, we're talking about WWE championships and not hot bitches. Okay? So, I mean, it's crazy to say. What I'm telling you is you can bring up whatever fake news you want. The Rock, Zuplex Johnson, okay? The fact of the matter is you are all the same. You're going to try and paint a picture over all the garbage.
All I want is Roman Reigns to not take 4 months off of TV and defend his title.
Man.
That's all I want him to do. That's all I'm asking. That's not a lot to ask, by the way. That's not a lot to ask to have your head champion, your main marquee guy, show up to a pay-per-view and defend his fucking belt.
I'm good with him wrestling. I'm good with him defending his belt. I'd like to see him more on the shows, of course. I would like to see him more.
I'll even do you one better. He doesn't have to show up on TV anymore. but he's got to be at the pay-per-views defending the belt.
No.
How about
I'm
that?
totally opposite. I want him more on TV so we see
Look, the guy hasn't wrestled on TV in months, so we're already used to that. At least we were seeing him.
Because we don't deserve it.
At least we were seeing him, right? At least we were seeing him come out and having the bloodline do his dirty work for him and all this other bullshit.
You're not
right?
a good human being.
At least we were seeing him.
You're just not a good human being.
But now we haven't seen him. He's not showing up to things. He's not showing up to pay-per-views. He's not defending his belt. It's just a matter of at some point he's got to defend this Fugazi title that he has. That's what it is now. It's a Fugazi title.
If he defends it, I want him on SmackDown twice a month.
The next time he's defending it is Saudi Arabia, bro.
Good.
And you know they're going to give him like Omos or something stupid.
I can't wait
to defend against. It's going to be whack. And we're all just going to sit here and be like, all right, well, the Saudis made another $6 billion. Great. Yeah. Awesome. And then we're going to go into Survivor Series where he's not going to defend his belt because that's all going to be about Judgment Day.
Great.
Right? They're going to be Judgment Day versus whatever team they can put together to fight Judgment Day. Right?
I think it's going to be Team Jimmy. I think it's going to be Team Jimmy against Team Jay.
You think so?
Yes.
I think it's going to end up being Jay, Sammy, KO, Rollins, pick a fifth.
Cody. I'm saying I think Jay's going to pick a team, and I think Jimmy's going to pick a team, and they're going to go in and they're going to fight each other at Survivor Series, and it's going to come down to the two of them at the end, and they're going to brawl it out to see who.
I think with them giving Judgment Day all of the gold and all of the prestige, it just leads too much to them being the main part of Survivor Series.
This is what I know. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I know. 3 things happened tonight. I expressed to you how The Rock is a trash can. I think I did that pretty well. Okay? Yeah. Okay. I think we definitely have decided that the company is in a better direction and better hands. Now okay. And number 3, that Zuplex will try and lie his way out of anything. It doesn't matter. Anything. And you saw it here, and there's nothing I can do. I am the man of the people. Okay? I tried my best.
You're such a smart piece of shit.
My best. But there was nothing I can do. There's nothing. Once he gets down that hill and he tries to weasel his way out of the tough corners he put himself in, there's nothing we could do. He's a bigger guy than I am. I can't stand in the way. I'm sorry, guys. There's only so much I can do. And he even pulled out something about my grandparents being Jewish. I don't know what he said. We got
your Jewish cousin taught you all his lawyer tricks.
Crazy, by the way. The stereotypes, now you people see what I deal with on a normal basis. This guy is pure evil. And I deal with it. I think I do a very good job.
Yeah, you're a real saint. You're a real saint.
If it was
you're a real saint. Say something about people with accents again, buddy.
If it was, first of all, stop. If it was up to me, if it wasn't up to me, let's say it wasn't, they'd have booted us a long time ago. But I had to save us a lot of times because he has said some really bad things about people. But it's okay. You have me. I love all of you. The Rock, except for The Rock, you can go fuck yourself. That's it. I'm done. The captain's out. And what other hurtful thing are you going to say before we get off this podcast?
Nothing at all. I'm just going to pump us up a little bit here.
Oh, great. Can't wait.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe everything on GGen. We have some new stuff coming out. The last episode of the Mortal Kombat character rankings is coming out this week. I did 5 hours total streaming of Mortal Kombat, the whole story mode. Wow. I got a review at the end of that's going to go up hopefully next week sometime once Chris is done with all the edits on that stuff. We got a lot of new stuff coming your way. I know Fred talked about the Multiversal Podcast is coming back. Theater Room should be coming back soon. John's been streaming a lot of Fortnite Hunger Games and
awesome game mode, by the way. Awesome.
I've been streaming Starfield and Mortal Kombat. I'm going to be jumping back on the Starfield now that I'm done with the story of Mortal Kombat. Look for our reviews on all that stuff. We got a lot of stuff coming your guys' way. We're going to keep going with Oversell. The next pay-per-view is, I guess, what is it, Fastlane?
Yeah.
Fastlane.
And no mercy for NXT.
No Mercy for NXT on September 30th. Fastlane on October 7th. And then we got Halloween Havoc for NXT. And then Crown Jewel on November 4th. And November 25th is Survivor Series. So
we got a lot coming up.
I know with all that being said, we're going to try and do the watch parties for all of these events as usual. I'm even thinking about starting to do the NXT ones. I don't know if you're down for it, but
I don't know. Let's
maybe
shot.
Maybe
one
not
shot.
everyone. Hey, one shot. You want to help us out with that? You down
okay.
one shot?
Good. Thanks, man. It was nice. I didn't
maybe not everyone, but maybe we take a stab at one and see how it goes. I know you're not a big NXT guy, so maybe it could be something new.
I'm not a big NXT guy. I should be a bigger NXT guy. Truth is, it's the minor leagues for WWE. Or not the minor leagues. It's just another brand, as they say now. Becky Lynch.
Well, it's the feeder. It's the feeder into the WWE. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I mean, listen, dude. By the way, I've wasted more time on a WWE pay-per-view with you, and so we have sat there on a pay-per-view wondering what we were actually doing with our time.
That's true.
So yeah, I mean, hey,
can't be any worse than that, right?
What the fuck,
But that's everything we got going on here at GGen. Please, guys, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Everything we got going on here. We love you all. We can't do this without you guys. In all honesty, we love you guys' interactions with us. Make sure you guys comment on everything. Check out the videos on YouTube that we have going up. We had a lot of really great stuff. So, other than that, I think that's it for me and the captain tonight. Thank you for rolling with us, everybody that jumped in the chat. We're out of here. Deuces.
Tribal Chief, I acknowledge you.
Fuck the Rock.